Would you say that you are a happy person? Does it feel like you have to keep chasing something or trying very hard to do certain things so that you can finally be happy? If so, this video is for you. My name is Liliana Gaspar, and I help people improve their relationship with food, which actually is about improving their relationship with themselves and just be happy. Recently, I was having a conversation with someone who's helping me with my marketing, and she was asking me if people were to work with me at the end of a successful coaching process, what would they get as a benefit? And I said, among other things, I said that they would be happy. And she asked, happy with what? And I said, well, they would just be happy. You see, the reality is that happiness does not really depend, real happiness does not really depend on anything specific. It's not something that you have to do to control your life. You don't have to be changing things outside of you in order to be happy. Real happiness is a state of being. It's just being in that moment and experiencing the happiness that does not depend on any one particular circumstance. At this stage, you're probably thinking, wow, that is surreal. I mean, I would have to probably be like a monk in a monastery, spending my whole day kind of sitting and meditating and breathing and not having any care in the world before I could ever feel like that I'm just always happy. I would need a bubble. I would need to isolate myself from my environment in order to be happy. Actually, if you knew a little bit better what life in a monastery for a monk that's doing all those meditation exercises and goes on, for someone who goes on a spiritual journey, they actually don't even need to be a monk. But let's take that as an example. If you actually knew what that's like, you probably would question that assumption. I remember I was watching a Netflix series from Andy Puddicombe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing right or not. Apologies. But he's the creator of Headspace. And I have no affiliation with Netflix or Headspace or anything. And so he was actually talking about his own experience. And he was saying that at some point, and I don't remember the details of that story anymore, but he was saying that at some point, his mentors had brought in some ice cream and that it was left there for them to finish their food before they could eat it. And then they just kept pushing it until the ice cream had melted completely. And so they could no longer eat that ice cream. And look, it's not normal for them to be having ice cream. It's unusual, you know. And so this was something that was really much desired and wanted by at least some people who were there. And they had to let go of it. They had to watch it melt and not have it. And so what is it that is the result of this kind of challenges? See, because when a monk is having that experience, or when somebody embarks on a spiritual journey of that kind, it often comes with challenges that are created on purpose to put your ego under stress. So they create stresses that specifically target your attachments and things that you think you depend upon in order to be happy. But what happens in that journey when all of that is stripped away is that in fact you learn to just enjoy each moment for what it brings you. And maybe you appreciate every obstacle because of the learning that you can get out of it. And you learn to admire this living force, this energy within you, or spirit or whatever you want to call it, that is able to overcome mountains, literally and figuratively as well. The amazing things that you can do. And so you'll learn that happiness is about accepting that life is made of ups and downs. It's about accepting that you can face whatever challenges life brings to you. Whether you have to ask for help, or if you need to learn something in the process, you can just face those challenges. And you learn to appreciate each moment for what it is. And you will find happiness. Happiness not in the sense of being always very excited and jumping up and down and hysterical, or there's nothing wrong with that. If it happens, it's fine. But happiness in the sense that you're content. It's an inner serenity. It's being at peace. It's being patient. It's accepting life for what it is. And again, this may seem like it's actually pretty impossible to achieve, but if you think about it, we were all once like this. A baby is a being that is always in the present moment. They haven't yet developed the mechanisms that allow them to remember, reminisce over their past, whether in a good or a bad way. They haven't yet developed the mechanism to be planning the future, anticipating the stresses, or looking forward for the happinesses that are going to come in the future. They're just there in the moment. They're curious about every little thing that happens. They are eager to engage and to learn. They'll get mad sometimes, but then it just passes. It goes away, and they're back in that moment. So they were in the moment, and they're content. And so maybe achieving this state of happiness is more like remembering what it was like to be a baby, to just have this inner curiosity. I'm thinking of the giggle of a baby that's just giggling, and maybe then it's crying, but then it's giggling again. So just try to remember what it was like to be a kid and to just enjoy without having to think too much about what was before, what's coming after, what you have, what you don't have, but just whatever it is that's out there, and make something out of it. So I'm curious about your thoughts around this and what you think you could do to create these moments, even if it's just 1 minute at a time, a moment of just being happy. What could be your strategy for that? What could be one way that you could practice just being happy? If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe, and take a look at my website. I'll leave it in the description underneath the video, and you can also sign up for my newsletter and learn a little bit more about my work. Talk to you soon.